Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit subscribe right now. We're slowly growing. We're not growing as fast as the uploads, but this is a lot more fun. And it's just so much more fun interacting with everybody. The super chat, thank you. You give me every incentive to continue rocking these live streams. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a really interesting segment. You have Jim Jordan running for Speaker of the House. He is not going to be stopped by a ridiculous lawsuit waged by the same law firm that funneled money for Hillary Clinton, a campaign finance violation, to purchase the Steele dossier. And then when people say, well, it's opposition research is okay, well, then how on earth can opposition research be used to obtain a FISA warrant? How is that even possible? So we have over 100 people, less than a minute in. Thank you so very much. And let's just get right to it. So Michael Cohen apparently has a business issues with his taxi cab businesses. And when Mueller went after Cohen, it really had nothing to do at all, like Mueller's entire probe. It has nothing to do with Russian hackers, nothing to do with anything but trying to make somebody's life miserable who could possibly flip on Trump over some imaginary crime. So we have no idea what Michael Cohen has to do with Russian hackers. We have no idea what Michael Cohen has to do with Trump-Russia collusion. So we've moved beyond that now. Now there's no pretense. It's just, how can we hurt Trump any way possible? There's nobody asking about, well, does this have anything to do with the reason there is a Mueller probe? And so let's just get to it. So we have almost 200 people, 2 minutes in. All right, let's start. So here's a CNBC article. I'll share this CNBC article with you. And Trump fires back at Cohen, raging on Twitter. Don't you love this? Raging on Twitter. Everything is so dramatic. Trump fires back at Cohen, raging on Twitter that he did not know about Don Jr.'s 2016 meeting with Russians offering dirt on Clinton. First of all, if Russians offered dirt on Hillary, she paid for a dossier where Russians offered dirt on Trump. What is the difference? The difference is that Trump did not get any dirt. He did not pay. And if Clinton's emails were said to have been hacked or stolen and then given to Trump Jr., they're a much bigger fish to fry. We need to find out how and when Clinton's emails were hacked. We already know from Louis Gohmert that a foreign entity, not Russia, siphoned all or was forwarded all of her emails aside from 4. So let's just go. It was Trump's most direct attack yet at his former personal lawyer, Michael Cohen. I did not know of the meeting with my son, Donald Jr. Sounds to me like someone is trying to make up stories in order to get himself out of an unrelated jam. Taxi cabs, maybe? The president's tweets. So, just like Manafort, Michael Cohen has nothing to do with Russian hackers. There's absolutely nothing to do with any of this stuff. God bless you, and God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So he has nothing to do with any Russian hackers, nothing to do with any collusion. And we have a situation where they just want to go ahead. They just want to hurt Michael Cohen because he is close to Trump. And that's it. They just want to hurt him because Christ light. They just want to hurt anyone close to Trump. So theoretically, that person could flip on imaginary crimes that Trump has committed, which we have no clue of. Meanwhile, Hillary has actually committed real crimes. And we just, for some reason, Sessions and everybody else, they're all taking their time. Like I always say, eventually she'll get indicted. You can't be a career criminal and not get indicted. Especially if you're so sloppy. But Trump raging response. Raging. It's a raging response. He was enraged. They think Trump is, they don't realize that Trump is like laughing and, calmly, tweeting this. They think he's like, fire and like smoke is coming out of his ears and fire out of his eyes. Oh my goodness. Eric H526. Hello, Hal and everyone. Love you all. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Eric H526. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Eric H526. So let's look into Cohen's taxicab business. So Trump walked away from shouted questions by reporters about Cohen and purported former mistress of the president at the end of an appearance at the White House when he was touting a new report for strong economic growth. What do you make of the Cohen tape? A reporter shouted. Is Michael Cohen telling the truth? Mr. President, when did you find out about Kerry McDougal allegations? So where's the crime here? Where's the there? So almost 2 years into his presidency, we're finding out that Trump had sex with really beautiful women. Okay. And what's the problem? And they accepted payment. Why did they accept payment? Why did they even have consensual sex with him? At a certain point, you have to ask, well, what were these women thinking taking money? If you want to go ahead, you cannot hush. It's not hush money. Hush money is like, you could take the money and then why didn't they just, if there was no contractual obligation at all, why didn't they just take the money and then just go ahead and say, oh yeah, well, here's the whole story. In Stormy's case, she did kind of, and she didn't. What's said to have taken place is that they were intimidated, but there's no evidence of that. They just took money. So I don't even know, like, what's the problem? How is this a danger to national security? Exactly. Trump says the word cash on a tape. Everyone goes crazy. Cash flows to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. So Office of Peace Information, you're 100% right. And here you have a situation where it's like nobody really understands why Clinton is still allowed to just walk around without getting charged for one of the many crimes she's committed. But let's go ahead. So Giuliani told NBC News that Cohen can't be believed unless it's corroborated 5 times. The only collusion with Russia was with Democrats. So now they are looking at my tweets along with 50 million other people. The rigged witch hunt continues. 53 million. How stupid and unfair to our country. And so the fake news doesn't waste my time with dumb questions. No. He's right. He's right. He didn't collude with Russia. And the whole thing is a stupid, idiotic fantasy that the most gullible, butthurt, pathetic imbeciles, Democrats, i.e. Democrats, believe. There's zero evidence. A FISA warrant was obtained because Bruce Ohr, one of the top DOJ officials under Obama, had his wife was working for Fusion GPS, and he was the conduit to give the dossier to James Comey. You need to get Bruce Ohr in front of Congress. That's what Jim Jordan needs to do, and Mark Meadows. And now they're working to impeach Rosenstein, even though it's going to be difficult, which is one of the reasons we need, big time, we need Jim Jordan as a Speaker of the House. I mean, that's what we need. We need that. We need somebody who has the guts, or we need people who have the guts to just make things happen. So it's been some slow days in terms of the news. I mean, relatively slow. There's always some kind of little tiny mini fire that, oh my gosh, Trump Jr. But sometimes on slow days, people don't get notifications. Sometimes they do. Who knows? When something's really, a pressing issue, everyone gets the notification. Or it just, the segment flies. But we're doing pretty good. We have about 400. We're approaching 400 with 11 minutes in, so it's not bad. Michael Cohen. Okay, so Michael Cohen's taxi business partner just agreed to cooperate. So this is a Vox article. So I'm just gonna read. I'm just gonna read a Vox article when Michael Cohen was an enemy. With this way, it'll resonate with me and my audience. So it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious. Michael Cohen's taxi partner business just agreed to cooperate with investigators. The taxi king has struck a plea deal. One of Trump's lawyers, Michael Cohen's business partner, has now agreed to cooperate with government investigators. So, oh, and by the way, Claire McCaskill is going to lose her election. It's because of the Russians. So, this is so great. When are they going to realize how stupid they look? When are they going to realize everyone's laughing at them? Probably never. They probably won't realize this. Ladies and gentlemen, if they do not get, they do not win the House and this, or they won't win the Senate. But if they don't win the House back, and somebody is trying to mess with Susie Dawson, this is despicable. Somebody sent an email. I'm tweeting this so there's no record that this happened. Someone is using knowledge gained through surveillance to try to upset me. Emailed me today referencing my children's activities. Wow. That's sick. That's sick. So somebody is trying. Susie Dawson is one of the loudest and greatest leaders, loudest voices, and one of the greatest leaders for Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, along with Elizabeth Voss and, of course, Mrs. Christine Assange. And they're trying to go ahead and intimidate her. That's just disgusting. I will not be intimidated into being silent about the torture of Julian Assange. I'm tweeting this so it is known and recorded that it happened. Someone is using knowledge gained through surveillance to try to upset me. Emailed to me today referencing my children's activities. What kind of lowlife does that? Democrats. Or it could be anybody. It's just It's just so. It's so disgusting. Oh, and here's a good one. So yeah, I wanted to just go ahead and read that. Devin Nunes, funny read. Media gaslighting can't hide fact Trump campaign was spied on. I mean, the gaslighting is just unbelievable, really. It's just unbelievable. Trump needs to declassify documents now. I'll get to that article. So let me just read this. So this is a Vox article, which is, I mean, they're suffering from whiplash on the propaganda. So now Michael Cohen is a favorite, and before he was an enemy, you know, whatever. But anyway, this works because Vox will go ahead and just say how horrible he is and how he should be trusted and how he's going down. So there you go. It actually undermines what's going on now. Why should we trust him about anything? His taxi business, his partner, has just agreed to cooperate with investigators. All these investigators, what exactly was the crime? Do we know what the crime was? Like, we know that Hillary had an unencrypted server outside the U.S. government in her basement. So we know that's like the public record. She didn't know what the C meant. She transferred top secret intelligence. She deleted emails without government oversight. All of these things. We know that those are crimes. She circumvents that by saying, well, she didn't mean to do it. It was just an accident. The State Department allowed her, even though the State Department's like, no, we didn't really allow her. But one of Trump's lawyers, Trump lawyer Michael Cohen's business partners, has now agreed to cooperate with government investigators. Eugene Gene Friedman, known as the Taxi King, entered a guilty plea in New York State court Tuesday as part of a cooperation deal. A guilty plea regarding what? The New York Times' Danny Hakim, William Roshbaum, and Vivian Wang report. Friedman has been arrested. Okay, so then finally, there's an issue. Friedman had been arrested last June by state authorities on charges of not paying more than $5 million in taxes related to his taxi business in New York State. Now he's pleaded guilty to one count of evading just $50,000 in taxes in exchange for agreeing to assist federal or state prosecutors. So now we know. Now we know. Bill Clymer, what is your opinion on the censorship against Alex Jones and other conservative voices, and have you experienced any censorship? Well, I'm not aware of any specific censorship regarding Alex Jones at this moment. I think Alex Jones is great. I don't agree with everything he says, but I think that he's awesome. I just think that he's like, you know, there's a lot of performance art there, which is amusing. I think the censorship of conservatives does not work. I think that when you try to censor something, what takes place eventually is the opposite. The opposite takes place. You try to censor someone's words. You want to try to prevent them from speaking. Their message only grows stronger. So it's this bizarre. I experienced this myself with a former Salon editor saying that, you know, I shouldn't be published because of what I was saying. I never learned that you should silence people. I always learned that you should go ahead and debate people. I don't understand this kind of like, well, you know what? If those thoughts are out in the open, we just can't have those thoughts out in the open. We can't have those thoughts, so, you know, we have to censor this. And what they do to censor people, Bill, and everyone else, I think it's horrible. I don't like the censorship. But what they do is they say, well, this viewpoint, and then they link it to the most extreme, is a white nationalist, sympathizer, supremacist, every euphemism you can. So one Huffington Post article called Mike Cernovich a white supremacist. How is that even, like, even if you disagree with a lot of his viewpoints, He's not a white supremacist. He's a conservative. He's a conservative. That's all he's just a conservative. Nobody calls every liberal like a, communist, Stalinist. I mean, that's in a way what the equivalent would be. But I think it's even more vile to call everyone you don't like a neo-Nazi, even a Jewish person. So Cernovich is Jewish, I believe. It's just they don't have an intellectual basis because they don't want to defend. So I had a debate with Richard Spencer where I actually upheld all the beliefs and the value system of people too cowardly to do so on the left. You need to go ahead, and if you dislike an opposing viewpoint, you need to debate. You don't just try to, not allow or censor or prevent the person or people from speaking. So Michael Cohen's partner, Friedman, has been arrested last June. Okay, so Cohen had been in the taxi business for Friedman for years. As of last year, Friedman managed half of Cohen's extensive taxi medallion holdings. So Cohen probably is a lot of money. Furthermore, the search warrant the FBI used to raid Cohen's residence and office last month specifically requested documents related to his taxi medallion holdings, among other topics. So all of this has what does this have to do with Trump-Russia collusion? So the Democrats can't defeat Trump on their own. So what they have to do is basically just go after anything anyone's doing around him to just try to hurt them in hopes of the person making things up to hurt Trump. That's pretty much what it's come down to. So now the Justice Department, or now I should say Mueller, is an extension of the Democratic Party. The DOJ and FBI under James Comey and Loretta Lynch were an extension of the Obama-Clinton Democratic Party, mainly Clinton and the DNC. So at the end of the day, like, where is this heading? If the tables were turned, they wouldn't stand for a Steele dossier that is complete and utter nonsense. Then you have like this, like, why American white people really hate being called white people. It's not even that big of a deal. Race is there's so many people on the left who obsess over race. Obsess. You couldn't live your life if you obsessed over race like that. Or any, Then, of course, then you have Frank Luntz. Oh, my God. A tweet. Or all America, does increased racial diversity have a positive or negative impact on America? All Americans, 64% positive. Democrats, 85% positive. But you forgot that they destroyed Libya under Obama. So how is it that you have an 85% positive, but you destroyed an African nation? And then Obama said, my biggest mistake. And nobody cares. That's the duplicity. We love inclusion, which I do as well. But I'm being a little bit facetious now to prove a point. We love inclusion, and we love destroying an African nation. And we love, in Libya, and we love nominating and cheating for a candidate who called black youth super predators in Hillary Clinton. But this poll says that Democrats love diversity, so they're much more morally superior, even though Obama destroyed Libya and Hillary Clinton stole $10 billion from Haiti. Oh, I'm sorry. One Politico journalist said she didn't steal any money. It just was raised, and then he didn't even think that the $10 billion was raised. Like, well, where's the money? Where's that? And then there's a New York Times article that says it's like well over $9 billion. Republicans, 43% positive, 50% negative. Oh my God, there's a bunch of Neanderthals, but they are less likely to to engage in regime changes that hurt people in Africa or the Middle East. That's funny how things work. Anyway, Michael Cohen, taxi baron. It might seem odd the Trump Organization's longtime executive vice president, special counsel, has a side hustle in taxi medallions, the expensive city-issued permits necessary to operate taxis. But Cohen got involved in the taxi business long before he entered Trump's orbit. So there you go. Ain't gonna work to try to link. Cohen got involved in the taxi business long before he entered Trump's orbit. And if I'm quoting Vox, I don't love Vox, obviously, but if I'm quoting Vox, it's because they're a leading voice on the left, and the same propaganda that everyone is pushing now is actually debunked by the propaganda they were pushing prior. I mean, there are good journalists at Vox, and even though I disagree with their mindset on things, obviously, here you have it. But Cohen got involved in the taxi business long before he entered Trump's orbit. So how are you going to possibly, how is anyone going to link Trump's taxi, Cohen's taxi business to Trump? They're not. And Cohen is pretty stupid too, because his only hope now is not hit. It's one of two things. Either Michael Cohen and Trump are playing a game, just like a game that Sessions and Trump are playing, where it's kind of like the rope-a-dope, where he's just pretending like he's just taking everything now or trying to create this diversion, and there are ongoing investigations that will eventually indict Clinton, which is the case. So this goes into Michael Cohen, taxi baron. Cohen's father-in-law, Fema Schusterman, entered the business first, according to an earlier New York Times, where Schusterman worked as a New York taxi driver soon after emigrating from Ukraine, and by the 1990s, he owned 9 taxi medallions. After Cohen married Schusterman's daughter, Schusterman helped the recent law school graduate get into the taxi business too. Working with another Ukrainian immigrant, Simon Garber, Cohen started buying up taxi medallions. He quickly amassed 30 medallions, each then about $250,000. Wow. That's a lot of money. So it's what, like $8-9 million? No, 8 million, about 8 million. Over 7 million. Together, the two men managed 260 cabs in late 1990s and early 2000s. Some for their owners. Drivers paid them $100 a shift. Millions of dollars in cash flowed in. Wow. So indeed, in 2003, when Cohen ran unsuccessfully for New York City Council seat, he billed himself as the owner-operator of a fleet of more than 200 taxi cabs. Shala Collins, indictments are imminent. Thank you, Shala. Thank you, Shala. I'm going to have to put this channel on the budget. Thank you. Happy to support. Thank you so much, Shala Collins. Thank you. And I have to do the same for your channel. Let me know if you have a PayPal or let's go. Everyone subscribe to Shala Collins' channel. I want everyone here, all 536. We're going to have 600 people. Shala Collins, thank you. Thank you, Shala Collins. Thank you. Everyone subscribe to Shala Collins. She is awesome. Everybody, just go on the just click on the link here. It says Shala, and the video. Go to the YouTube video and click subscribe. She is a great voice in politics, and she has a walkaway everyone should see. Bro 333 HA, I love your believing in God, especially when you say God bless you. Thank you, Bro 333. I say God bless you because I enjoy it. I guess philosophically I'm a little bit more agnostic. Bro 333, I don't know if God exists, but I want him. I would like for there to be a God. I would really like for there to be a God. And because I grew up in a religious Hebrew school, so in that sense, if you grow up that way, but then sometimes you ask yourself, well, how come all this craziness, genocides, craziness, but Bro 333, thank you so much. I guess intellectually or philosophically, I'm agnostic, but I would like in my heart to believe that a God does exist. So it is enjoyable for me to say God bless you, and God bless you, Bro 333. Thank you. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. Shala Collins, Trump must come out for cannabis, and it's all great from there. Exactly. Absolutely, Shala Collins. Absolutely. I don't partake myself in the marijuana or the cannabis, but I want it to be legal throughout the country. It is important. It's probably one of the biggest issues in the country today. I mean, it's something that exactly. River Storm. God bless everyone here. Yes. Shala Collins. Thank you so much. I agree with you. I think that marijuana should be legal. I think that it should be legal throughout the country. I don't see why, especially when if you're suffering from cancer and you have all of these like poisons and all of these like, thank you, Eric. Yeah, everyone subscribe. Subscribe to Shala Collins right now, everybody. Almost 600 people here. And RJ, awesome. And so it's true, Shala, you're 100% right. I mean, it is so much less damaging and dangerous, infinitely less dangerous than opioids. And I mean, these pills, these disgusting pills, there's no comparison. And especially also for cancer patients, they shouldn't be going through hoops. It should just be legal, and that's it. So I agree with you. So in 2003, when Cohen ran unsuccessfully for a New York City Council seat, he billed himself as the owner-operator of a fleet of more than 200 cabbies, or 200 taxi cabs. So the guy was making bank. The value of Cohen and Garber's taxi medallion holdings soared, and the pair started to buy up real estate, including several Trump properties. Cohen got a job at the Trump Organization around 2007, but continued to hold on to some of his medallions. The Cohen family still owns 32 New York City medallions. So the guy is super wealthy. Well, not so much. But lately, the business has taken a turn due to new competition. Uber and Lyft, the value of New York medallions has plummeted. Really? The price dropped from 1.3 million a piece. Wow. In 2014 to below 200,000. Wow. I don't know. If I'm in New York, I'd rather just go take a New York cabbie. That's just me. I'd rather not. I mean, if I'm in like another city, fine, Uber, whatever. But I would much rather just take a New York cabbie. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school like that. There's like all these taxi cabs in New York. Why would you? I guess it is sometimes difficult to get a taxi in New York. So wow, Uber just destroyed what's his name's business. Meanwhile, Friedman has ended up enmeshed in a series of business, personal, and legal problems. A judge ordered that he turn over some of his medallions to pay off his bankruptcy creditors. In 2015, he admitted in court that he's okay. So the taxi empire is folding. So, like, what? About 300 grand in back taxes. Okay. Uber and Lyft crushed crushed Trump lawyers. Wow. Uber and Lyft played a key role in Trump lawyer Michael Cohen's financial downfall. Well, I mean, if you go from a million, like 14, a million for H.A. Nietzsche said God is dead. Yahweh, you're Jewish, I am. And could he say more to describe himself? Said that Nietzsche is dead. Yes, bro, 333. Nietzsche, you know what? Nietzsche is gone. Jewish I am. And he could say more to describe himself. That's true. Nietzsche was also not all there. Interesting. What was it? Some a lot of the writings later on in his life weren't even his writings, or his sister-in-law, or what was it? Hold on, let's see. Nietzsche's sister. Her sister. As caretaker, Forster Nietzsche assumed the role of curator and editor of her brother's manuscripts. She reworked his unpublished writings to fit her own ideology, often in ways contrary to her brother's stated opinion. Wow. Through Forster Nietzsche's edition, Nietzsche became associated with German militarism and National Socialism. Wow. So it wasn't even his. That's interesting. It was his sister, more so, that made him linked to that. I don't think that Nietzsche would have, had he been. When did he pass away? That's right, 1935. He would not have liked. Well, he was already gone mentally when the Nazis came to power in 1932. But I don't think his philosophy would be the antithesis of, well, it would be the antithesis of Nazi philosophy in terms of this allegiance to any code. So he was not for allegiance to codes or to dogma or anything like that. Bro 333, thank you. Thank you, bro 333. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Carl Jung is awesome also. Yeah. So Uber and Lyft. So, but see, this is the thing that I always say when it comes to like you see this with bookstores, and you see this with brick and mortar businesses, or whatever, like, more traditional businesses. You know that this new technology is coming. So why don't you adapt? And it's not that difficult to adapt. You simply get an app. Bro 333, gotcha. Thank you. Thank you, bro 333. Thank you. Bro 333, thank you. If you're in the taxi business, the old school taxi business in New York, then go ahead, pay some money. You're making money hand over fist, whatever. Even with the medallions worth 200,000 instead of $1 million. You go ahead. The whole thing with Uber and Lyft is that you can get them quickly from your phone, whereas a taxi cab like takes a million years sometimes, or you have to wait in the corner and hopefully like a cab comes and they're not occupied, and you got to do that whole thing. You simply go ahead, and I mean you can call up. Sure, you call up a taxi, fine, but you just go ahead and do what Uber and Lyft do. Have your own app. How hard is that? How hard is that? So you see these people, you see Uber and Lyft. The convenience of Uber and Lyft is that you can just get them, a split second, boom, I'm here at this corner, and they come within, a couple minutes or whatever, 10 minutes max, whatever. Why can't you just do that? You could totally adapt, but they don't adapt. They don't adapt. Omar Pena, check out Jordan Peterson on Nietzsche and Carl Jung. Puts things in perspective. I'm going to do that. Omar Pena, thank you. So, Jordan Peterson, Nietzsche, Carl Jung. This is pretty fun. Look at that. So this is Jordan Peterson's website, Nietzsche. So Beyond Good and Evil is one of his. And then Carl Jung is on there. You know what? It's actually not like Jordan Peterson. It's not really his words. It's not really like his viewpoints that make him so controversial. It's the fact that his viewpoints undermine Sherlock Collins. New video coming out tonight. Love you, HA. Make it rain on this channel on a Friday. Sherlock Collins, thank you so very much. Thank you, Sherlock. Everyone tune in to Sherlock Collins' channel. You could just go click go to channel. I'm doing it right now. Sherlock Collins is absolutely beautiful inside and out.
How's everyone doing? I hope you had a fantastic week. I know I did. And it's been a couple of days since I actually got my last video out to you. But today is Sunday, July the 15th. And I wanted to start the week off right at the top of the week. Getting my first.
So that's from Sunday, but this is going to be, there's going to be a new video. And political correct. Whoopi, let's listen to Whoopi gets triggered. This is going to be.
What's up, YouTube? Today is Friday, July the 20th. And I had to come and check in with you guys today to discuss a couple of things. The first thing I want to discuss is that awful, horrible display of courtesy and or lack of courtesy and hostility towards none other than Judge Janine. I'm gonna mess her name up. I'm gonna call her P. Right, Judge P. By Whoopi Goldberg and that horrible group of women on The View. So Judge Janine was invited to The View to discuss.
So this is awesome. I mean, definitely subscribe to Sherlock Collins. First of all, you got Weird Science in the background. You got Back to the Future. Okay. You got Breakfast Club. Okay. How awesome is Sherlock Collins? 3 of my favorite movies. I'm like hardcore 80s. So everyone go ahead, and it's awesome. It's just awesome. So everyone go ahead and subscribe to Sherlock Collins. There's a new video out. Thank you, Sherlock. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sherlock Collins. O.J. Clinton, the best in America in one name. New York taxis are ridiculously priced. Okay. New York proper charges Uber, Lyft drivers for a medallion. Oh, New York. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. A medallion of their own. Couple that with the tracking and direct communication with the driver, and it's a no-brainer. Yeah, direct. Oh, that's right. Direct communicate. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. But see, my thing is that, like, why couldn't you just adapt? If you're the taxi company, you're like, okay, what's Uber and Lyft doing? Well, it's not that, like, it's not going to the moon. You're not going to, it's not like the lunar landing or a Mars, you know, Mars landing. Just go ahead. Everyone, it's catching on. Adapt your taxi cab company with what they're doing. Let them talk to the driver directly. Get that app going on people's phones. And, you know, and then utilize whatever advantages you have as an old school taxi company to your advantage. This way you don't get shut out. I don't know. I just, like, in LA, there used to be a whole bunch of bookstores. Well, I mean, you know, there's a whole bunch of Borders and Barnes and Nobles, and I used to love going to bookstores. Now there's like hardly any bookstores. Okay, there's hardly any bookstores, and I was always thinking to myself, well, why don't they just utilize them? What's the one thing they have that Amazon doesn't? Well, they have real estate. So go ahead and, I don't know, get a concert going, get a poetry reading every other day. Charge admission, don't charge admission. You know, whatever. You know, get people in there and utilize the space that you have. Blockbuster was, I guess that whole thing. Yeah, exactly. That whole thing was doomed. Just Netflix. There's really no. With Blockbuster, I really don't know what. I mean, that, even though I did enjoy. I did enjoy going to Blockbuster, but the thing is, like, with Netflix and with Amazon Prime and all that stuff, YouTube, you pretty much, you know. But even they could have been creative. They could have like maybe turned their company more into a gaming, you know, company, or more into, like, I don't know. There's things you could do with real estate. There's things you could do with, if you know, you could have adapted. I don't know. Anyway, everyone subscribe to Sherlock Collins, ladies and gentlemen. She's absolutely fantastic. So I guess, OJ Clinton, you are right. You know, in terms of the taxis, regarding the price, they're overpriced. I just think they could have adapted in some way. But Cohen's business empire just plummeted. That's the thing, you know. I mean, if you're gonna have, and so quickly too, like from 2014 to now, it goes from $1.4 million for a medallion to 200,000. I mean, that quickly, just 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Uber and Lyft played a key role in Trump lawyers Michael Cohen's downfall. And then they're like, okay, well, he was, I mean, initially with Michael Cohen, he was said to be in the Steele dossier. He was in the Steele dossier, so he sued BuzzFeed. Well, why is he taking that lawsuit off the table now? I mean, he removed the lawsuit, okay, I guess because he had to save money to deal with the Mueller issue. But Mueller is there just to simply ruin the lives of people around Trump. Just to simply, and that's the thing, like, why doesn't, what is Trump gonna, what's the backlash gonna be if he fires Mueller? Like, at this point right now, it's not gonna just wind down. It's gonna wind down to the point where it's like, oh, we're checking his underwear. We're gonna see if his underwear was made in Russia. Mike's MMA World. If I remember correctly, Netflix offered to sell its rights to Blockbuster. Oh my God. Blockbuster declined, so it's on them. Oh my God. Thank you, Mike's MMA World. I didn't know that. Let me see that. If they did that, Blockbuster made the absolute worst, one of the worst decisions of all time. Oh my God. Netflix. So epic fail. Oh my God. How Blockbuster could have owned Netflix. Oh Lord. That is the most epic fail of all time. That is the most. So Mike's MMA World, thank you. Oh my God. Blockbuster chiefs lacked the vision to see how the industry was shifting. That's also stupid. How can you, like, your life is, or your bread and butter is videos, and you don't see how streaming videos at home would be appealing to people? Blockbuster chiefs lacked the vision to see how the industry was shifting under the video rental chain fee. Oh my God. The early 2000s. Oh my God. For $50 million. It was nothing to them back then. They could have, companies were being bought just to get them under, like, just to buy them. It will go down as one of the biggest missed opportunities in the boardroom. Oh my God almighty. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You could have bought Netflix for $50 million and you said no. You could have bought, this is just unbelievable. Oh my God. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Blockbuster chiefs lacked vision, but that's what could have happened multiple times throughout the early 2000s when Netflix CEO and co-founder Reed Hastings courted a deal with Blockbuster chief John Antioco to purchase the then DVD by mail rental company. Oh, that's right. That's right. For $50 million. The company now has a market cap of $9.7 billion. So this was DVD by mail. That also would have been appealing. What's the problem? In 2005, Variety first reported that while Antioco was respected as a tough negotiator, strong manager, he lacked the vision to see where the home video industry was going. Management and vision are two separate things. Oh my God. Huh. In 2000, it inked a 20-year exclusive video on demand pact with Enron. Oh my God. Enron Broadband Services. Oh, that is fantastic. Blockbuster canned the pact after 9 months after Enron was mired in scandal. Oh wow. Not only did they ignore Netflix, they're like, I don't know about Netflix, but Enron seems really appealing. That's true. But still, though, if it's growing so much. Wow. Craziness. Absolute craziness. That sounds like the ISP for my Chappaqua. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So So wait, so what does Jordan Peterson say? Jordan Peterson on Nietzsche. So on jordanpeterson.com, why can't they find any information on this? There's a tweet. From the darkest corner of Nietzsche's very dark soul, if you truly wish to punish someone, punish him for his virtues. Interesting. There's nothing really directly here that I can go ahead and... I guess I can go ahead and listen to Jordan Peterson explain himself, and then I can talk about it later. The Gospel according to Jordan B. Peterson, Irish Times. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go ahead. We'll definitely reconvene. But let's just see. By the way, I have a new upload, my HA Second Amendment upload, and it's rapid fire with my CZ 20 rounds. So, you know, it's just, it's at a steel plate 50 yards away. It's not for, it's not for, here's the link. It's not for accuracy, but it's just, you know, it was in a very safe manner, fun, but also kind of testing out the firearm to see what it was capable of. And so it's pretty rapid fire, 10 rounds, and then load another magazine, 10 rounds at 50 yards away at a steel plate. And I know what I have to do. My left hand has to be up higher on the firearm, much higher when I'm holding it. So I know that's when you see. Anyway, that's my latest upload. I didn't know Alex Jones was banned from live streaming. One thing that I try to do in my live streams is that, for example, I'll read Vox. So, like, I'll be as controversial as I usually am, or whatever. I'm not sure if I'm controversial, but one thing that I do is that I read from the left. I just actually read sources from the left. So, thank you, Randy. Thank you. It's very difficult to censor sources from the left. Like, Vox is like the least likely to be censored on YouTube or any, so is CNN. Like, I'll read from CNN. So, ladies and gentlemen, almost certainly we'll have a late Friday afternoon You know, OMG Fest. Oh, look, this just happened to take place. Exclusive, only making a major announcement on Tucker Carlson tonight. Well, there you go. He's Representative Matt Gaetz. Then you have Lenny Moreno claim the only thing he wants is to guarantee Assange won't be executed is a clear violation of inter-American court ruling this month. So, and political asylum rules in general. Assange's asylum is over the risk of extradition to the U.S. Full stop. And everybody go ahead. I just tweeted out Susie Dawson at Susie3D, at Susie, S-U-Z-I 3D. Please go ahead and follow her. Someone's trying to intimidate her. Follow her and give her support. And just let her know you're on her side. And you're on Assange's side and you're on WikiLeaks' side. Here are the 35 potential witnesses, and Robert Mueller is calling in Paul Manafort's trial. What does this have to do with Russian hackers? Twitter is at $34. I would not buy Twitter. Not that I'm giving anyone advice. I'm not giving anyone advice. Now, Shy Hutchinson, thank you, Shy. Thank you, Shy Hutchison. Thank you. Not that this is not investment advice. Do not take it. If you want to buy Twitter, go buy Twitter. If you don't want to buy Twitter, don't buy Twitter, whatever. I would say for me, why would anyone buy Twitter? It's like if Satan made a social media company, it would be Twitter. Twitter is the most vapid form of communication. It's just, I have a fleeting emotion and fleeting thought. Let's go ahead and use a small amount of a small number of words and memorialize that fleeting emotion and fleeting thought and have people debate and have people and marginalize certain people or attack. It's like, and then they're like, well, the Russia bots on Twitter. What Russia bots? There happen to be people who really loved Bernie and who loved Jill Stein and who loved Trump, not Russia. Jesus was Jewish. You are Jewish. Should we not believe in you? Bro, 333. Well, I can't walk on water. I can't do a lot of cool things that Jesus did. I have problems to subscribe. I was ready to sub. Now I am not, and they won't let me do it. Lewis, sometimes it's difficult. Like, I think if you log out and log back in, it should enable you to subscribe to any channel. Thank you, Lewis. Bro 333. Jesus was Jewish. Yes. You are Jewish. Should we not believe in you? No, you believe in me. I'm just a normal mortal person, normal human, just a normal human like everyone else. Who is that guy? Who was that guy that he said like he was Jesus or something? There was this guy in Florida that was saying that he was like God or the son of God or something. He had like a little cult. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Bro333, thank you so much. God bless you, Bro333. You have a blessed, wonderful day. Thank you so much for your support of this channel and your kind words. Bro333, thank you again. Very, very, very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. Don't give AJ a Jesus complex. Mark Johnson. No, see, this is the thing. I am just actually in one of the actually theological concepts, and Bro333, I think you can agree with this and also appreciate this. And this is the Jewish faith. Well, I learned it in Hebrew school, but the Muslim, in Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, I think this is all faiths. Well, maybe the monotheistic faiths more so. I'm not sure. But the concept that only God is God. There's only God. If you believe in God, only God is all powerful, all knowing, and all human beings are just human and mortal. So that mentality protects you from a cult. You could never join like some crazy, like, give us, all your money, and this is the one guy, the leader, because if you're human, you could not be there's nothing, you cannot have any cosmic or, ethereal powers or any kind of like superhuman powers, because everyone is human, everyone's mortal, everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time, all that type of thing. Anyway, I'm probably not even explaining it correctly, but the concept is like there's only God and then there's everyone else, which we're all human. Thank you so much, Bro333, which is, a great thing, kind of like levels the playing field, because no matter how rich you are, how powerful you are, at the end of the day, you're born and you die, and what happens in between is, what a mortal or a human has to deal with. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of like an equalizing thing. Mark Johnson. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so very much. Well, this has been amusing. We've gotten into theological and philosophical debates, and I've got to find out about how the New York City taxi medallions are now worth a bag of Doritos. Mark Johnson, thank you so very much. God bless you all. I will see you all very soon. Thank you so very much, everyone. See you soon. And no, I won't, because I actually read Vox, so it's pretty difficult when you read Vox and CNN to be censored. Thank you so very much. God bless. I'll see you a little later today. Have a fantastic super chat to everyone. And the super chat, you give me the incentive to keep rocking this. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you.